All right, nice to come around to talk African football once again. My name remains Ashalolu Afemi. It's Niger Super Fans Forum. There's so much to talk about on the continent. And of course, we're approaching another very busy week around a club football competition over this weekend. Of course, matches will be rounding off before the quarterfinal fixtures. James Agberebi is here. James, once again, you're welcome.
Yes, thank you very much, Femi. It's always a pleasure talking football, African football on the Niger Super Farm. So it's nice to be here.
Okay, so our fans around the world, wherever you've been, you've always joining us from. We do not take your support lightly at all. We appreciate you so much. So please, suggestions, comments, whatever, please leave them in the comment section, and please share our videos. You can do some of our recommendations to some of your friends to see things that we get done right here. Okay, James, let's get started. We'll start from home here in Nigeria. A lot of Nigerians, especially ex-internationals, are not impressed with the back-to-back fixture for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Guinea-Bissau, and so much reservations. But particularly, James, one that has elicited so much angry reactions from Nigerians also is the ouster of the under-23 team from the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations that will be taking place, I think, in Morocco. James, yes. Salisu Yusuf is the man in the eye of the storm right now. Chan, you remember 2023 Chan, we lost to the Black Galaxies. Here again, we are out. And Nigerians are saying Salisu Yusuf should be sacked.
Well, Femi, I think that question should go to the NFF. What was the criteria to bring Salisu back to the national team? They want to argue with you that he served his ban and so I was good to go. I mean, someone that failed to qualify the country for Chan, then it now still went ahead to handle the under-23 team, and now we're going to miss back-to-back Olympics. Remember, we're going to qualify for Tokyo 2020 Olympics, and at this now this team has also failed again to qualify for Paris 2004. I mean, that goes to show that there's something wrong. I mean, I've never been a fan of Salisu Yusuf. I might sound harsh, but not as the individual, but as a coach. I've watched his teams play, and there's nothing exciting about his team. They just play this. As if they play without formation, without organization. They just run around the pitch, and you just look at it like this is a team that is coached. I mean, you play this goalless draw at home because you didn't win at home and you didn't concede. It doesn't mean you cannot go away and do something, because not conceding at home, I mean, it gives you the opportunity to go away, and they lost 2-0. You remember when the Super Eagles drew 0-0 after the result? I was because I felt that since the Super Eagles go away, I mean, everything is still open. It's up to find out. And the Blasters came here, a score draw, and they qualified for the World Cup. Sit down and ask ourselves, what is it about this same coach that there's always this thing about him? Always gets national coaching assignment, coaching job. I mean, is it the only coach we have around here? I don't know other better coaches. So I don't know. The NFL has a lot of questions to answer.
Yeah, you took that out of my mouth, because I was going to ask you, after we lost the 2022 to qualify for the 2023 Chan, was that not enough red flag for the NFF to sack Salisu? And he's the only one that since I've been following Nigerian football, who has 3 jobs. He's the Chan coach, he's the under-23 coach, and he's also an assistant coach in the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And the question Nigerians are asking is, what sort of contribution would a man like this even bring to the national team? And a couple of days ago, an ex-international, Ifeanyi Udeze, said the best thing for him right now is to go back to school and try to refresh what he knows, James. But I think it is quite sad. Same man, 2 failures in 1 year.
Yes, I mean, if Salisu should return to the Super Eagles as and assisting
assistant coach.
capacity. I mean, it goes to show that the NFF are not ready to push our football forward. I think that time the man will just step away from the national team. He's not even qualified to handle even the Flamingos. I'm telling you, because it's that bad. I've watched, like I said, I've watched his
Some are
teams.
saying he relegated Canopilas last season.
Yeah, yes, now he's in his record, So I mean, is we have good coaches, and Salisu is not one of our good coaches, honestly speaking. Because I mean, when you watch his team play, you just know that this man doesn't have
After so much
anything.
promise that he wasn't going to fail.
Yeah, it's like what do you expect him to see? That's what you see. You only give us this false hope, and then just I mean, somebody that handled three positions. I mean, it's sad. He just took our football like how many years backward now, because we don't have the opportunity to see some of these guys now back to back. We are not going to be in the Olympic football events. I mean, for countries like Nigeria who have won gold, silver, and bronze at the Olympics. I mean, so everything is in the hands of the NFF now. They have a lot of work to do. I mean, if
Okay.
Salah should still continue in whatever capacity in the national team setup, then it goes to show that the NFF, there's something amiss that we don't do that they are not telling us about. Salisu always been around in the national team.
Okay, I think if the NFF decide to sack Salisu Yusuf, I think it will come at the right time because the federation is already crying over paucity of funds. Remember the recent release that says that is the reason why they are actually rotating assistant coaches in the national team. James, let's talk about the FIFA U-20 World Cup that's supposed to take place in Indonesia later this year. FIFA has finally removed Indonesia as the host. We learned that Qatar are begging FIFA. FIFA, we are ready. We have all the facilities, and it's quite sad that Indonesia actually decided not to host the tournament anymore because of a country that they feel they do not share the same values as religious values as, or maybe even normal general values as will be participating at the tournament. But James, the question is that you knew you were going to host the world, regardless of where the countries will come from, while this tournament, the right to host this tournament was handed over to you. Now? Why did you now decide at this time that you no longer host the tournament because a country with whom you think you do not share values will be coming to your country to participate?
Yeah, Femi, I mean, the country, I don't know whether you are shy to mention the name. The country is
Israel.
Israel.
Israel, yeah, Israel.
So for me, Femi, that's why I always have reservations when FIFA give some of these countries. It's not as if they are not qualified, or since they are, after all, they are part of the FIFA family. So everybody, if you feel you have what it takes to host a
That's right.
FIFA tournament, I mean, they give you the go ahead. And Indonesia, I believe they met all the requirements. But at this stage, when we are so close to the draws and what have you, the World Cup is this year. All of a sudden, the politics now crept in. I mean, so that's why I'm not always in support when some countries indicate interest to host FIFA tournaments because of things like this. And now we look at where we are now.
Remember Algeria and Morocco?
Algeria and Morocco, anything. Yes, exactly. And we've not even heard anything whether Morocco
About
didn't
that.
show up in the tournament, and it's like nothing happened. We
Yeah.
just moved on from there. To no sanction, nothing. Just went off like that. So for me, for Indonesia, I think FIFA will come hard on them because you don't. After all this, it's as if you wasted everybody's time. So you now go to this stage, you now brought in politics. I
And
mean,
the country has spent so much to even prepare to put facilities in place.
yeah, so the statement by FIFA, they said they think of a sanction on Indonesia. You don't just walk off like that. I mean, uh, after all the preparation and everything, because of politics, you now decide to say you are not going to hold the draw because of Israel, that they are part of the team that will take part. So whatever sanction the FIFA hammer on them, I mean, they deserve it because, I mean, it's a waste of time, waste of everybody's time. So I think when next another country from that part of the world, when they have interest, I think they will have to sit down and think if truly they really want to host this tournament, because FIFA doesn't want to involve politics in whatever they're doing. So whatever sanction they get, I think they just have to leave it.
Okay. Okay, so remember that Senegal, who won that under 23, under 20, sorry, under 20 AFCON this year, will be representing Nigeria, as well as the Gambia who finished second, then Nigeria, the Flying Eagles who finished third, and Uganda. The 4 countries will be representing Africa at the tournament. So we're waiting for FIFA to name.
It's Nigeria, Tunisia, Gambia, and Senegal.
Okay, Tunisia. Thank you.
Tunisia,
Thank you.
Gambia, Nigeria,
Yeah.
Senegal. Yeah. I
Thank you
thought
for that
you said
correction, James.
Uganda. Yeah.
Sorry, thank you. Thank you for that correction. So we're waiting for FIFA to name a new host for that tournament. James, let's take a trip to Ghana now. Of course, recently we celebrated the unveiling of Chris Hughton, and we've seen the back-to-back 2023 AFCON qualifiers against Angola. We got 4 points from 6 games in his first 2 games as the head coach. But something very nasty is rearing its ugly head again as far as Ghana football is concerned. And a sport broadcaster in Ghana, I'm talking about Dan Kwaku Yeboah, a journalist, of course, has claimed that not all GFA members, the Ghana Football Association members, were on the same page in the appointment of Chris Hughton. He said, and he went on to say that that the reason why Chris Hughton was handed a short-term contract is because they know that he's incorruptible. And I quote what he said in a YouTube video. He said the coach is on top of his job, but it's hot that the GFA knows they can't pollute him. So they didn't give him longer duration on his contract. He said all others who came in had a minimum of 2 years contract. That is all the coaches. It's only this coach that has been given 1 year and 7 months contract. James, no, we can't. Okay, at this moment now we can take this with a pinch of salt,
yes.
Because it's an allegation. Of course, you expect the GFA to come out and debunk this, but it's not the first time we've heard things like this. Of course, we knew what happened with Otoado and, of course, the other coaches who took charge of the Black Stars. But James, if this is true, it will be very, very disastrous for Ghana football, because if Otoado, Chris Hughton are meant to say, these foreign breed coaches, they have principles. If they knew things like this are going on, they can just join the tower and just leave. I think this would probably throw Ghana football into another crisis if this is true eventually.
Yeah, for me, I think I think it was before the World Cup that Otoado came out to say whether Ghana do well or not at the World Cup, he will walk. And
it was going to leave.
Yes, and he eventually did. That's just what you just mentioned. Now, the thing about this foreign-born coaches, players.
These foreign breed coaches.
Yeah, what they do is once they see that the system doesn't.
The environment is not conducive.
They just leave.
Yeah.
And someone like Chris Hughton, who has managed in the Premier League before, this is not his biggest job. For the national team, this is the biggest job, but he has handled top players, come up against top players in the Premier League, So this is not just like what you said, it's just an allegation, but when things like this come up, you don't just handle it with a pinch of salt. If you dig deep, you find out that there's something going on. They don't need this now. They don't need it at all. Because for me, this is like a new dawn for the Ghana football. You have the players already, and you have a new coach. So what the coach need now is the support from everybody, to move the team forward. But when you start hearing things like this, you're going to affect the team. This distraction will be there. We will not be able to focus on what they plan to do. Just like in our previous edition, we said Ghana, the last time they won the AFCON was 1982. That should be the target now. How to win the AFCON. There are a lot of Ghanaian fans who are not born when Ghana last won the AFCON. They want
why are you reminding us, James? Why are you reminding us?
It's important to know that there are bigger issues ahead than all this pickering. Why some people don't want the coach, and because I believe selfish interest. Even if Jose Mourinho is appointed by the GFC, some people still complain. That's human nature for you. So for me, they don't really need all these complaints. All you need to do is give the team the support and everything. He has played 2 games now, and he has 4 points. And like I told you, they are going to qualify. They just need that leave just one more victory, and they are good to go. So that should be the focus, not all this unnecessary distraction. That some people don't want him. Who do you really want? No matter who the GFA appoints, even bring Guardiola, there are people who will still complain about it. So for me, they just let Chris Hughton be. He has started on a good note. So all he needs is focus and concentration so that we're able to build a solid team that will challenge for the title come next year.
Okay, so we expect the GFA perhaps to come out with a very strong message to Chris Hughton and said you have our support. And of course, I think the world is watching, particularly Ghana football fans are watching. Dr. Kotoko, the GFA president, has so much to do regarding Ghana football. James is staying with Ghana. A former Asante Kotoko marksman Eric Bekoe has urged Chris Hughton to appoint former Black Stars striker Asamoah Gyan as the Black Stars strikers coach. And James, in the last 4 years, I quickly tell you about this, that in the last 3 years, I meant to say, Jordan Ayew has scored only 1 goal for the Black Stars. Naki Williams, your friend, in 7 matches, is yet to get a goal. Antoine Semenyo has scored 2 goals. Then we have Felix Afena-Gyan, he scored 1 goal. Then Benjamin Tete and Richmond Abiake Yadom, they've not scored anything. So these are like forward players. In the last 3 years, they've scored 4 goals. That means the other goals have come from maybe attacking midfielders and the like defenders. James, Asamoah Gyan has, I think, a top licensed coach, a top license, to coach any team right now. Would you think that Chris Hughton would need someone like? Let's forget about it. Maybe his divisive tendencies. Some Ghanaians may have reservation about appointing him in the Black Stars. But do you think with his wealth of experience, as a Ghana football legend, will his experience be needed to help brush up the strikers in Ghana?
Well, when you talk of top strikers, the legendary strikers in Ghana, there's no way you put Asamoah Gyan aside. But I won't say that. The question is, will he be interested? Is being part of the team not cause distraction? You remember
James, I can tell you will be interested. I can tell you Asamoah Gyan will be interested in this job.
The most important thing is as long as you come and impact his wealth of experience, knowledge to this current crop of players. But my own fear is, he has history with the Ayew brothers, so I don't know. Human beings. There's some
This
things
is a
that
national assignment. They're going to
I
push
know
that aside.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Human beings. So for me, will Asamoah Gyan be a good inclusion in the technical crew? Yes, somebody who's Africa's highest goal scorer at the World Cup. I mean, what more can you say about So, it's now left for Hughton to take that advice because he's the man in charge. So, I don't know if you want someone like Asamoah Gyan to be part of this technical crew. If his own is to come and help the forwards, just like what Benny McCarthy is doing at Manchester United. At one point they say he's the one helping Ronaldo in terms of goal scoring.
And now Marcus Rashford, right?
Yes, exactly. So like I said, it's left for Chris Hughton if he wants Asamoah Gyan. Fine, well and good. They need somebody that every striker would like to learn 1 or 2 things from. I mean, for someone who was banging in the goals at the World Cup, I mean, how many players can boast of that? So if the coach, if Hughton really wants his assistant, fine, you can contact him and get him on board. If not, well, can just keep his peace.
Okay, but if I'm permitted, I can apply for the job on behalf of Asamoah Gyan. James, let's quickly talk about this in 1 minute. Recently, there's been debate about CAF allowing AFCON qualifiers to be played on an artificial turf because the game between Rwanda and the Benin Republic that was played yesterday was played on an artificial turf. And I tell you, James, it was an eyesore. And after the game, the Rwanda French coach was asked about it, and he said he didn't want to say anything about it because I'm sure he wasn't pleased himself. And we generally it is a general knowledge that artificial turf makes players injury prone, particularly their knee.
Yes.
I think it is one thing that CAF should look into. And James, in most of the AFCON qualifiers, no VAR. Only in the games that were played in North Africa, no VAR. But in the Euro qualifiers that we saw also, you saw games between Macedonia and Faroe Island. You see the use of the VAR. I think these are things that CAF need to begin to look into. I don't think we need to wait for Europeans, to begin to even detect some of these things for us before we take a stand ourselves on what we think is beneficial.
Yeah, Femi,
Yeah.
this African, we've been saying this thing, we are not ready for some of this technology that will be coming up in football, especially the VAR, goal line technology. I mean, we are just not ready. Maybe if you're talking about the North Africans or even South Africa, they have the what it takes to use these facilities. But when it comes to the other side of Africa, where the shops are, I mean, yeah, still we back in terms of facilities, standard equipment for all these things. Use of artificial. I've never been a fan of the artificial pitch because it's one dangerous part of football. Most of football, I don't even like the idea of playing on it. Especially when you're playing when the sun is hot. I mean,
You feel it
so
on the
many
leg.
disadvantages. You feel it under your boots, and it's so easy for footballers to get injured on the artificial turf, So I don't know, maybe because some of this country they use it for they feel they cannot maintain natural grass. That's why they feel artificial turf is the best for them to use. But I don't know. It's left for CAF to. That's why I see some countries they have to go to places like North Africa, Morocco, most
Morocco, South
especially,
Africa.
or maybe Algeria. Yes, to play their own games because they don't have all these facilities in this time and age in the 21st century. So I don't know. It's sad. It's very, very sad. And until we put our hearts together, we'll continue to play not even second field, third or even fourth field in terms of world football. I mean, we have the talent, that, but when you don't have all the basic things in place, I mean, these are the kind of things you continue to see.
Yeah. It's quite sad because here in Africa, we have the talent, but we do not have the facilities. Where there are in other continents, most countries in Europe, they have the facilities, but they do not have talent. That is why you see some Africans, they would decide to play for those countries. Okay,
Yeah.
just to mention this, James, former Manchester United striker Danny Welbeck has donated set of jerseys to a young team in Ikawe, Panin, a township in the Atwema Mwabiagia municipality in the Ashanti region of Ghana. I hope I got that correctly. He donated those jerseys ahead of the Juvenile League in Ghana, just for mention. But James, on the funny side, let's talk about Lawrence Atisigi as we close now. He's not only doing well in between the sticks for the Black Stars, also doing well off the pitch. Recently, he was cited somewhere in Ghana with Switzerland ambassador to Ghana. I'm talking about Miss Simon Giga. Both of them were buying a roasted plantain by the roadside. In Nigeria, we call it boli. I don't know what is roasted plantain called in Ghana? Our fans in Ghana, please let us know what it is called. It was seen buying boli, roasted plantain by the roadside. I think it's the beginning of something. James, if you ask me, that is what my instinct is telling me that Lawrence Atisigi, and both of them were smiling. An ambassador of Switzerland to Ghana. James, I don't think it's ordinary.
Well,
I'm
I don't
suspecting
know.
something.
I don't know what to say about it, but Atletico is a household name now in Ghana, and whatever he does now will always attract interest from people. So for me, like I told you, it's Black Stars first choice goalkeeper. I just hope that he keeps his discipline and continue to be the undisputed number one. He's famous. He's very popular now. So whatever action he does, whatever he does in public, we always go on social media. So I'm not surprised that he was caught on a camera buying a roasted plantain with Swiss top official. So good, as long as he's doing something positive, I mean, he always attract a good. We always want them to do something positive, because Cristiano, we've been praising him all since he passed away, and that's what we always want from these footballers. Not just apart from playing football. I mean, let them continue doing something good that we can look at and learn from. Not coming out to always focus on the negative things. Day to day, they are human beings like us, and we have a lot
Yeah.
of things to learn from them too.
Yes, they have a private life. Of course, all of us here, we are trying our support behind Lawrence Atisigi. Quickly, let's run down through the fixtures of the CAF Confederations Cup this weekend. We have TP Mazembe, who are already out of the quarterfinals. They will be hosting Young Africans. ASEC Mimosa will be hosting Rivers United. That game, both teams are through. In Group B, they are through. Then we have the Blue Noir. They will be hosting Motema Pembe. Then Kara will be hosting FAR Rabat. In other games, we have Marumo Gallant will be hosting Saint Eloi Lupopo. Then Monastery will be hosting Real Bamako. Pyramid will be hosting Future. Then USM Alger, they will be hosting Al Agda. Quickly in the CAF Champions League now, the producer is telling me it's time to leave, but quickly we have to go on through this. Oroya will be hosting Vipers, Zamalek and El Merek. They will be doing hostilities. Raja Casablanca and Simba, both of them are through, but they will be playing the final game of that group. Then Petro Atletico versus Vita Club, Al Hali versus Al Hilal, Mamelodi Sundowns versus Kotospor, Mamelodi Sundowns are also through. Esperance of Tunisia, they'll be hosting Belouizdad, then Wydad, they'll be hosting Kabylie. So quickly, let's tell you the situations in Group A. Kabila and Wydad are through in Group A. Then Group B, Mamelodi are through. So Al Hilal and Al Ahly, they'll be playing for a place in the last and second spot. Then Group C, Raja Casablanca and Simba are through. Then Group D, Esperance and Belouizdad are true. So also in the CAF Champions, Rivers United are true, but this weekend they will be playing to know who will finish at top of the group in the CAF Confederations Cup. This is where we'll be drawing the curtain on today's episode of Niger Super Fans. So we thank all of you from Australia, Canada, United Kingdom, Ghana, South Africa, Cameroon, Nigeria, wherever you have always been joining us. We say we appreciate you so much. We do not take it lightly. Please click on that notification button to get our video as soon as they drop. And for your suggestions and things that you want us to look into, please put it in the comment section. Don't forget to tell us, what is boli called in Ghana? We say plantain. What do you call it in Ghana? Here in Nigeria, it's called boli. We want to know. Thank you very much. James Agberebi, thank you for coming through once again on the show.
Yeah, thank you very much, Remy.
All right, so we'll see you all on Monday. Bye for now.